Hi everyone, it's Margaret and I am doing a tutorial today of Lady Rose McClare. She is one of the newer characters for Downton Abbey and I can't wait because the new series is coming on and I just love that show. It's really one of the better shows I believe on TV, but there's so many great shows now, but definitely that's really an amazing show. So anyway, Lady Rose, she's gorgeous and has this really beautiful, ethereal kind of angelic, cheruby look, but at the same time in her character, she's very naughty, very promiscuous and definitely mischievous. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that inspiration, as I always do, and making it a little bit more modernized since this is more of an inspirational look. But I really studied a lot of the looks, and they're going through a transition with their era. So they're going from like the 1900s into the 1920s and 30s, which you get a little bit more smoky eyes and much more deeper kind of tones in the makeup. So first of all, I want to make sure that the foundation is completely flawless and very milky and soft because back in that era, the women were very feminine and had a lot of coverage. And they definitely loved to wear their cloaks and their beautiful dresses and jewels. And they really loved to use a lot more smoke in their eyes. And they used a lot more jewel tones. And also, they started wearing a little more metallics and things like that. So the makeup was really, to me, very prominent in how we're looking at makeup now, especially like runway makeup. I think a lot of our inspirations, even to this day, especially like the smoky eye look, comes a lot from that era, the 20s and 30s. So definitely, what comes around goes around, just kind of keeps regurgitating. So here I'm just doing my final steps with the foundation, and I'm using a silicone base for even smooth coverage. And I think that that really is important to use, some kind of a foundation that's going to give you really great coverage, still make your skin look really smooth and still make your skin look like skin, because sometimes that I find that when um, certain people put foundations on it, they just look like they're wearing cakey, chalky, tons of, I don't know how you describe it, but it just doesn't look like their skin. So here, after I did the foundation, I'm putting some setting powder, and I'm using my blended, trusty blending complexion brush, and I'm just kind of going all into the skin and really making everything meld together. And then I'm going to use a little bit more loose powder and put it underneath the eyes for my fallout powder. And this is a good trick, so especially when you're doing like smoky eyes, anything that falls on the skin, you can just brush it off. So I'm using this kind of yellowish pearl highlighting powder on the brow bone. And I'm taking my fluffy brush and I'm just going to go right along the brow bone and see how it just really, already you could see how it pops the eyes out. And that's really important because using a good color on the brow bone really helps. Something that gives it a little bit more pull and push at the same time. So I'm using this kind of rusty brown metallic color. And I'm using a flat brush, and because flat brushes tend to help put more pigment onto the skin compared to a fluffy brush that tends to soften. So I'm using this flat brush and I'm just adding the dark kind of rusty brown color right in the inner part of the eyes, as you can see, and I'm doing both eyes at the same time so it creates a nice balance. And I'm going to bring that out, and then I'm going to just kind of work that in and all the way into the middle crease of the eyes. And I'm just going to go all along just in the middle, as you can see, and just blend it out. So now I'm going to go with this darker brown, and it has a little bit of a gold reflection, and it's a little metallic-y with the gold. So I'm going to take that and go from the middle and take it out to the outer part of the lid, and see how I'm using this a little bit wider, more still flat brush. And this definitely is going to give it a little bit more intensity and a little bit more just like a darker, deeper tone on the outer. And it looks kind of dark right now, but we're going to really blend it in. And then we put a little bit more in the middle. And then I'm going to just merge those two together. And I think that's really what's going to be the important aspect of making sure that this looks really kind of soft and blended is when you're taking all the different shadings of colors and then you really meld it together. And see, now I'm taking my blending brush, and what I'm doing here is I'm just going along the edge of the color. I don't want to go all over the lid, but just the edge of the color, and it just will create a nice smoldery look. And see how it just gives it a little bit more softness, but it also creates more intensity and more architecture to the design of the eyes. Now, see how the middle merges with the dark, the inner lid color and the outer lid color. So you do want to go on the middle of the lid and just kind of merge them together. So I'm taking my latex sponge and I'm just kind of cleaning and giving any kind of detailing, just giving it a little bit more. So I'm taking that dark brown metallic-y shadow and I'm going right on the lower lash, and I'm using a very flat rectangle straight edge brush and just going right along, because this look is very smoky eye and this is very synonymous to 20s 30s look. And then I'm going to take this kind of, how would I put it, it's like a soft dusty metallic-y brown color, and I'm going to go right on the edge of the bottom of that brown just to soften it out a little bit without taking it, but yet it also creates a nice much more smoldering look. So now I'm taking my highlighting powder again and I'm just going to go over, and then I'm going to go again with that gold highlighting powder and just go right in the inner part of the lid right there, just to open the eyes up because the dark tends to pull in, and that's a nice little trick of the trade. See, by adding that little light. So I'm using this kind of brick contoury color. It has a little bit of a reddish tone and it's more like a terracotta tone, and I'm just going to go right in her lower cheekbone area, just right underneath the ledge of her cheekbone, just right on the bottom, and see, just really pronouncing her beautifully high cheekbones. Nellie here has just such a gorgeous face, and she's got an amazing set of cheekbones. So I'm going to really emphasize them, and I'm just going to really bring them and sink them in. And then I'm going to go with this soft rose petal, and it has a little bit of a gold reflection. I'm just going to go right on the top ledge, on the apples of her cheeks, and see how those two, from the softer top and the darker bottom, it just creates just a nice merging of color. So now I'm taking my blending brush, my bigger blending brush, and I'm using that same color I use in the contour, and I'm going to go right in the crease of the eyes, and that really gives it a little bit more texture, and it just brings out more of that kind of reddish color. So I'm taking a little bit of the highlighting powder and using my pinky, and I'm just going to go right on and dab it right in the middle of the lid, and that creates a nice reflective finish to the eyes. And see how that just gives it a little bit more texture, and it gives a little more payout. It's such a great trick, and this is all about texturizing gradation, and it creates a nice blend. So I'm going to take my mustache brush and I'm just going to brush that all along her natural brows, and she's got such great brows, and I'm just going to fill it in with some just dark brown powder, brow powder, but I don't want to make it so super dark, but I definitely want to match it to her regular natural color hair, and then just fill in the little bit of the areas that need most coverage, and just blend it out. And look how pretty that is, and it really does accentuate and Lady Rose is just so beautiful. So definitely, you don't have to do a whole lot when they have such gorgeous features anyway, but this is really cool. And this is more runway inspired as well. And I'm going to take super black mascara, and you want to coat each lash. And if you like my techniques and you want to learn more, you can go to www.mkcbeautyacademy.com. I have online training, and you can also do in-person training, or you can do a blended training. And we also have portfolio workshops for those of you who are interested in building a portfolio. And we also do portfolio services. So definitely check it out, www.mkcbeautyacademy.com. And if you are a YouTube subscriber, which I hope you are, you can get some discounts off the online training. So now I'm using this kind of wine color with a metallic um, lip. It's like a high pigmented lip gloss. You can use lipstick for sure and then go over it with a little bit of a metallic lip gloss as well. But I just love this because it brings out the shimmers in the eyes, and then also the little bit of the red in the eyeshadow from that rusty red, and then it just pulls it all together. And this is to me, this is much more of a modern version of Lady Rose and Downton Abbey. And I think that era is, that they tend to go a little bit more matte colors, but I just added a little bit more metallics to it because I thought just modernizes it a little bit. But this is such a great look for a party. If you want to go out to a club, I mean, definitely it's just an elegant look. And so here is my inspiration of Downton Abbey Lady Rose McClare. And thank you so much for watching. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thanks so much. Bye.